Hello there, thanks for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and boy, check out this baby. Just a beautiful, very large, obviously bright Day-Glo orange, vintage 1950s concert poster, headlined by singer-songwriter Brook Benton. Boy, isn't this just a beauty, I'll tell you. There's a reason Brook's at the top, and this is the fall of 1959. He was on fire in 1959 and 1960, and of course he also went into the early 70s with a big hit. That was a radio staple we all know, Rainy Night in Georgia. But back here, we're in Brook's early prime in the fall of 59, and playing with a couple of Rock and Roll Hall of Famers further down the bill, which we'll get to in just a moment. But you know, this whole bunch is presented on just this stunning fluorescent orange Globe Posters jumbo window card. It's interestingly, you know, it's the orange just takes over the show, but it's really a four-color poster. You've got the orange, you've got the natural black and white, or the white's natural, the black's printed, and then you've got the blue venue information up top. So it just really, you know, it's sometimes these color combinations just command you, and you can't explain why. They just really work. They really sing, you know. So this is definitely one of those cases. And just think, you get to see this whole show, according to the venue information there, if you can see it, for just $1.50, huh? The good old 1950s, wow. Okay, so we'll come in a little bit further, and under Brook Benton's name there, you can see that his song title is Thank You Pretty Baby. And, you know, being an all-black show here, all-black bill, African-American bill in the South, I'll go ahead and refer to just Billboard magazine's R&B charts when giving positions. But Thank You Pretty Baby was #1 this summer of '59 for a whole month. So how's this for career timing? The follow-up single, which is not on the poster, So Many Ways, was also #1 for a month. And it entered Billboard magazine's chart, R&B chart, in the issue dated, October 19th. So that's back-to-back #1 for a month on the Billboard R&B chart for Brook Benton. And you know, his career had actually started on the charts anyway, earlier in '59. That's it, he didn't go back further than that with It's Just a Matter of Time, which was #1 for 2 months. So he was indeed smoking hot. And you know, just because the decade ended, just because the 50s ended, doesn't mean that Brook Benton had to. For heaven's sake, right around the corner in January of '60, he had his biggest hit with Baby, You Got What It Takes with Dinah Washington, and that was #1 for 2.5 months. And it just didn't stop. You know, in the spring of '60, his next single released #1 for a month. In the summer, another one released, #1 for 2 months. So that's why Brook Benton is absolutely the screaming headliner here. And below him, you've got lovely, lovely Ruth Brown. Chart-wise, nearly at the end of her career. She would just put 1 or 2 more on the charts, but you've got this nice, big, 1-foot-tall photo of her on this poster. Isn't that nice? That's just really a great, respectful presence. I love that. And as you can see, the song titles given for Ruth are Papa Daddy and I Don't Know. But it's kind of weird because Papa Daddy was the B-side, and I Don't Know was a top 5 hit for her. But I'm thinking maybe when this poster was put together, they didn't know which side was going to be the A-side, and so they just, you know, just sort of put them on the poster, and Papa Daddy, as you can see, receives more prominence with all capital letters. But it was I Don't Know, which was the A-side and the hit. And then you've got, oh, I guess I better not go too far away because they're so small, future Rock and Roll Hall of Famers, the Pips there, with Gladys Knight's smiling face down there in the bottom center. And boy, is this early for them. I mean, if you take Billboard's R&B chart, the first 50 years it was in existence, Gladys Knight and the Pips are the #8 all-time best-selling artists, so they're in the top 10. My goodness. But this is 1959, and they didn't really get started on the charts until 1961. Then you've got the Falcons on there, and So Fine is an abbreviation of You're So Fine, which was a #2 record for them this spring. And by the way, I'm going to come in on the Falcons for just a second here, a little bit closer, and the gentleman in the upper right-hand corner of the photo, okay, the upper right is Eddie Floyd, and all he did was go on to have a big #1 record with Knock on Wood in the mid-60s, so that's pretty dang cool. And then you've got the Dellos on there, and band leader James Moody, and I shifted over here with that little white box, and Moody's Mood for Love there has celebrated jazz vocalist Eddie Jefferson getting a shout out in the bottom right hand corner of the poster. So these things are so fun, you know, they're just so full of great music and chart action and This is probably the Chitlin Circuit, although I'm not sure exactly how that's defined. But boy, you know, you just got Chattanooga, Tennessee in 1959, and just a lot of R&B legends and fun, and they go back in time, right? Anyway, that's what we do for 5 minutes. That's what I do for 5 minutes of time here on the poster blog. So thanks a lot for dropping by, and we'll see you to go back in the time capsule again sometime very soon. So I look forward to it. Thanks a lot. Have yourself a nice day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.